Hello guys and welcome to a guide on how to tank Tiamat Stronghold in Aion. Now, there have been a few videos of Tiamat Stronghold on my channel before, but none of them were guides, and I wanted to make a tank guide specifically, since it's pretty hard to tank this instance if you don't know what to do, and the instance is overall not really uh, welcoming to newbies. So I'm just gonna give you a few tips on how not to suck and how to make it through with your group. Now, a good Tiamat Stronghold run can take anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a half. A bad Tiamat Stronghold run can take up to 3 or 4 hours. Uh, Now, the first thing you want to do when you come in, on every run, pick up the quest Breaking Through from Ariana. Now, why is this quest so crucial? Why is it so important? Because after you do the quest 30 times, you will get a special helmet as a reward that has a unique skin that is not obtainable anywhere else in the game, and it's also an eternal grade helmet, which is a pretty good helmet for the start at your normal levels. Now, the first thing you want to do when you enter the instance after taking the quest is talk to Cahoon. One of your group members needs to talk to Cahoon. He will remove the barrier and will start the instance. Now, Tank usually goes forward to this stronghold approach, and then when there will be a row of mobs appearing ahead of you, you turn back and you run to the beginning, and you let these NPCs, the elite range snipers, etc. guards, aggro the mobs. You repeat this 3 times, and after that, the whole passage is clear, and you can proceed to the first boss. Don't forget to put your scrolls on. Don't forget to use your food and stuff. Now I only have some really basic food here, but it still helps. As to the gear, you should be fine doing this in Stormwind gear or even enchanted Udas gear as I use. I use a full set of lower and upper Udas armor enchanted to +10 and extendable Dragonlord Greatsword from Dragonlord's uh, Refuge enchanted to +15 and a +4 attack plume. The accessories I use are really bad, they are just basic PvP accessories and the quest helm. But as you can see, my stats are a bit low. The HP is fine. What you want to do is have at least 2.6k or 2.5k accuracy, so you don't miss all that much. Now, the first boss, Invincible Shippuden, is really easy. It's pretty much just tank and spank, but there are a few things that you need to know in order to successfully defeat this boss, or in order to not make it too hard for for your healers and for your DPS. And that is when he uses the skill Tremor, you're gonna want to run out of the circle. When he uses Earth Upheaval, again, avoid the orange stuff on the ground. It's not good for you. It explodes. It gives you hefty damage. You see, Tremor. Avoid it. Just avoid the circle. Go out. Now, I forgot to switch my stigmas before I went inside because I was in a bit of a hurry. But you want to bring Empyrean Providence. Instead of Shield Burst, you want to bring your Golden Stigma Empyrean Providence because you are gonna need it when you will be fighting the strongest boss of the instance, Brigade General Tahabada. You want to have that Empyrean Providence right there. Uh, Now, I've tanked this at level 58, 59 before. Of course, it's good if you can have a magic resist set, but as a beginning player, you are not going to have that. At 65s, it's not needed, but at lower levels, it helps a lot. Now, the Spirit Master is supposed to be dispelling the yellow buff of the boss. You can see it dropped Blade Boots. Stride of the first boss dropped Blade. The Spirit Master is supposed to dispel the yellow buffs. If he doesn't, on the next boss I'm gonna die, but I'll leave that to the group. Uh, if he doesn't, I'm gonna die. Now most of the groups, now when you come to this statue in the middle of the instance, which is actually the ending point of the instance, you have three choices. You can go straight ahead, you can go right, or you can go left. Most of the groups choose to go straight ahead, which is the way to the strongest boss of the instance, Brigade General Tahabara. So you get that one straight off the bat. Uh, Now the armor from this instance comes usually in two versions, one for each subclass that can wear it. That means, as a plate, I've just gotten 5 slot Sabatons that have stats for gladiators. Gladiator pieces have parry and magical accuracy, and templar pieces have block and accuracy or crit strike or HP. The reward for this instance is eternal weapons and armor. It also has a chance to drop a mount, an eternal bike, either bike, or a statue, a souvenir to your home. Now you just clean these mobs pretty easy, and now you come to the part with the helmet quest. Now most of the groups will not let you do the helmet quest because they only usually kill these three mobs, but you can mostly agree on something uh, with your group, like you can do that quest. It's really important to do it because if you find yourself repeating Tiamat Stronghold a lot, then you can get the helmet as a reward if you keep working on that quest. If you are a new player, you might prefer tanking this with a sword and board, but in the end it comes up to your preference. It doesn't matter. Comes down. You can tank it with a great sword. You can tank it with a sword and board. Whatever you wish for. My mace is not enchanted, so I prefer to tank with my greatsword. But my mace is distorted, again a distorted Dragon Lord weapon, and extendable from DLR, and my mace is my shield is from Judas Temple. These Grenadier mobs are the strongest mobs in the instance, these Assad commanders and Grenadiers, because they have a skill that can pretty much wipe out your entire group in one hit if your group is too far apart. The key to beating these mobs is to stay together, because the more people the skill hits, the less damage it does. That's how the skill works. So you want your group to stick together on these mobs as much as possible. And here we find ourselves already almost at the next boss, Adjutant Enuhar. Now I'm gonna clear these mobs over here. Hopefully my group follows me, doesn't kill the Fleshmender there. Áno, očujem, neodpovedám. Ale áno. Mám zapnutý mikrofón. Sorry for that, guys. Now, I'm gonna pull that guy over there. Here. Alebo vieš čo, radšej nie, ja si dám potom. Super. Daj. The mobs are open. You can take the quest from these Legion orders here. It's shareable, so it's enough if one person takes it. There is a couple of quests that give pretty nice rewards here in this instance. Now I've aggroed the boss by mistake. But doesn't matter, hopefully my group can make it. So I'll be explaining on the go. On the go, once you aggro this boss, you wanna get on this precise spot, right here, right next to the door. Stay here the whole fight, except when he uses a skill called Stormblade. Now you will see in the chat when he is about to use that skill, he will say something. You will see what. Now the point is to run out, because if you don't run out, the skill is gonna kill you. And as soon as the skill reaches 75% of charging, you already must be on your way running back in, because if you don't, the boss might come after you, and the moment he comes after you, he will reset. Because this boss is really, really, really buggy, and it tends to reset a lot. So just stay here, unless he uses Stormblade. When he uses Stormblade, you run out, stay here, see it comes 75%, you run back in, stay here. That's all you do for the entirety of the fight. Now it depends now on your Spirit Master or Songweaver that use dispels, and the Cleric. If the Spirit Master doesn't dispel the boss like really fast, I'm gonna die. Spirit Master is apparently doesn't know what the dispel means, so if he doesn't dispel it, I'm gonna die, and we are all gonna wipe. It is crucial for the Spirit Master to use his dispel skills here. So if you're a Spirit Master and you go to Tiamat Stronghold, please dispel. You have a skill for that. It's the only class besides Songweaver that can do it, and Songweavers have a 30-second cooldown, so a Spirit Master is always the primary choice when it comes to dispelling. Thankfully, I'm quite a sturdy tank, so I can stand through with the help of the healers through this stupid buff of hymns. But if you are a new player with worse gear, or you don't have an enchanted shield that reduces your damage by a lot, you are probably gonna die, and your group is gonna follow you in dying. So it's really crucial for the Spirit Master to dispel. Now, this is the most difficult boss of the instance, Brigade General Tahabara. What you want to have is fireproof scrolls. Now, I don't think I have any on me, which is pretty bad, but if you have these fine fireproof scrolls, it helps a lot. Another thing which you will need is full divine points. Full divine points for your 4K shield, because you are gonna need that shield. You can refill your divine points with a jelly, and you are ready for the boss fight. Now, this boss, after some time, he makes the area in which you can fight him smaller and smaller. So watch out for that. Once the floor starts glowing, get out of there or you're gonna die. And you won't be able to res up either. Your cleric will need to waste time on resurrection bossy to get you out of there. So don't stay in the red floor, it's bad. Now, as a tank, you always want to keep Tahabara faced away from your group. He has conal AoEs that you can see. It's called Sea of Retribution. He uses it a lot. You always want to keep him faced away from the group, from your healers, generally faced towards the walls of the room. He's a really dangerous opponent. You will notice your HP going down a lot. I don't have the HP buff from Cleric on, so I just need to take a quick look if I have any recovery serums on me. I actually do, so I'm gonna drag them over here because I'm gonna need those serums. Every single possible buff that you can have it here because you're gonna need it. damn right you're gonna need all those buffs. As you can see, I still died with my 4k DP popped because I couldn't remember where my 4k skill was, so I actually didn't use it, which is pretty bad from my side, but again, I shouldn't have died at this point of the fight. I should be still alive. If you are not still alive at this point of the fight, means that someone else is not doing something right. I used all my cooldowns, all my skills, everything, and we are not at the crucial part of the boss yet. The crucial part of the boss, 25% of his HP, that is when things get pretty nasty, because he's gonna use perpetual debuff that will just keep hitting you over and over and over and over until it dies. All the way until the boss is dead, the debuff is gonna stay there and just hit you. So if you are already on soul sickness before 25% even comes, the fight's gonna be really, really hard. You wanna avoid the tornadoes as well, they are bad for you, they hurt you a lot. And now, after the entire floor starts growing red, it's just a race against time. It's just hoping that your DPS can finish the boss off before it finishes off your party. Now is the time to pop all big cooldowns. Now all my big cooldowns are already popped, so I can't do much. If I had Empyrean Providence, now would be the time to pop it. The Spirit Master is dead, so he can't even dispel the buff. But thankfully our sorcerer was mm, good enough to save all his big nukes and stuff for this part of the fight. Now it's only up to the cleric if he can use Resurrection Lossy fast enough to actually rest the group up, or if we're gonna wipe on this boss. We actually made it. The boss is dead, but we have only just made it. This is not how the fight is supposed to go. But still, the boss is dead. We are all rest up. We are all good to go. Beaten the most dangerous boss of the instance. Now, there is, of course, more bosses. After this, most of the groups go to the right side. Some of the groups go to the left side. I surely hope that we are going to go to the right side, because that one is the next hardest. The left side of the instance is generally the easiest, but again there are some things that you need to know as a tank in the left side of the instance as well. For now we're gonna go right. The entire group is on soul sickness right now. The chain pens that dropped are for an Ether deck, and since there is no Ether deck in our group, it was free for all for enchantment stones. Why? Why? Now let me explain to the newer players why you don't want to use Ether deck chain as a cleric. Because there is this stat on the items that is called melee boost. Now, this stat is really pretty important because it influences how much aggro, hate, call it what you will, aggro or hate from the boss or from the mobs your skills generate. Now, the higher your enemy boost, the more aggro you generate. That is why as a tank you always need gear with positive enmity boost, and as a healer you always need a gear with negative enmity boost. Now, either deck gear is usable on clerics in some cases as a DPS set because sometimes the either deck chain set gives magic boost, which is really useful for clerics for DPS. This one doesn't, so it's basically useless. The only thing you can do with it as cleric is break it for enchantment stones. In this part of the instance, after you kill the colonel, pass this door, there are the path splits into two. There is a big elevator in the middle. The path splits into two. Choose whichever one you want. I usually prefer to go to the right side first, but it's up to you. As a tank, you are the leader of the group. You lead the instance, so you choose the way, mostly. Now, there is a little trick that I want to show you on these security devices, if my group of course doesn't kill them, and that is, well, I'll show you down in the prison because my group is killing those security devices. Actually, if you don't kill those security devices, they will summon uh, non-elite grade Valar mobs guards that count towards the completion of the quest Alpha Strike. Why that is good? It is good because you want that quest completed because of the food it rewards, obviously, and this way you can do it without without risking your group aggroing a lot of mobs at the start of the instance and wiping because of that. So it's good to do this quest right here and not at the start of the instance. So that's a little trick you can use to complete a quest. Now, why is it important to go into these corridors and kill these mobs? It is important because one of these fat mobs at the end of the corridor, one of these colonels, holds an eternal prison key that will grant you access to the next boss. Without it, you can't move forward in the instance, so you will need that key. You will need to clean out these corridors on each side of the elevator and snatch the key. Now it can drop from there are a total of 4 of these fat mobs. It can drop from the first one, it can drop from the last one. It only depends on RNG. Now it didn't drop from this one, so we will have to go to the next one after we finish clearing these mobs over here. Now you can of course avoid some of these mobs in the instance just by running, uh, just by avoiding their aggro range, but sometimes it can be pretty tricky, and on my Templar when I go with people that I do not know personally, I prefer to pull everything just in case because it's still better if the Templar pulls it and the group kills it than if the Templar pushes on ahead, doesn't pay attention to what the other group members are doing, some other group member pulls them up and makes your group wipe. So it's just safety reasons. That is why I mostly pull everything. because I have a lot of experience with people pulling mobs at the wrong time and making the instance fail, making the group wipe and go all over again since the beginning. Technically, it's, the mobs don't reset, so it's not like you have to clear all that again, but you have to run all the way back, and with soul sickness, it's generally not good. You see, we just gotten the prison key, so we can go to the boss now without cleaning the other side of the actual of these corridors. Before the boss, it's good to recover your MP. I'll also need to re-scroll. Pay attention to your scrolls. When they run out, re-scroll. At this boss, down, you will go down on the elevator to the prison. It is crucial not to engage the boss until you are 100% sure that everyone is there, because as soon as you engage it, the doors close and you won't be able to, uh, the other group members won't be able to come to you anymore. So always make sure that everyone is there before you engage in the fight. The boss uses a perpetual debuff that greatly decreases your attack speed and your cast speed, and also damages your HP. Now you can avoid this, you can prevent this by standing right under the boss's feet. That's the place that you want to stay at the whole fight. So you always want to stay here, even if as a caster class, as a healer, you want to stay right here, because the boss is gonna spawn these small cycles on the ground that allow you to recover your attack speed to normal. And one of those cycles is always, every single time, gonna appear under his feet. So it's good to just stay there all the time. Also, this boss spawns ads that can freeze your cleric or your DPS, so it's always good to pay attention to the ads and kill them before they do too much damage. Again, the Spirit Master should be ready to dispel the boss's skill when he uses the buff. The Spirit Master should be there to dispel it. But our Spirit Master unfortunately is not doing that, so we'll just have to tank through it. There is actually a weapon here, but it's not for anyone from the group, so that's a bit unfortunate. But it also dropped plate shoulders, which go to us. Hooray! Now, the drops in this instance are usually pretty shitty, but I have a triple drop buff from event, so that helps. That helps with the drops a bit. Usually this instance drops like 1-2 Eternals in a run. Sometimes it drops none, sometimes it drops more, sometimes it drops less. Again, it's just random number generated. Now, this next boss is something else. Oh, before actually engaging the boss, I forgot to take the quest down there. So I'm gonna return back. And again, I'll also show you how to do the quest with the scientists. I forgot to do that. It's my bad. You need to talk to this boss, to this NPC, to actually allow access to the next boss. So one of the group members needs to do that. Also, we wanna free these scientists. If you take this quest, you wanna free these scientists, and you basically just do that by killing the guards over here. Now I will let them summon the guards, since I want the quest completed. I'll let them summon the Valar guards. And the scientists are freed. Now another thing that you want to do while you are here is run to the back, to the far side of the elevator, and go visit the NPC here, which also has guards in front of it. I have to wait a bit for my HP to recover before engaging those. Again, if you don't want to do that quest, you can just kill the devices, the security devices right away before they get a chance to spawn the mobs, and avoid killing the Valar guards. And then once you are done with that quest, you can proceed to the next boss. next boss is going to be something different because you are not actually going to use your normal skills to tank that boss. So make sure that you have a free skill list that you can put the new skills that you will acquire on to actually defeat the boss. As you can see, I completed the quest that was given to me, assigned at the start of the instance. Now I can push on to the next boss. As I said, you're not gonna be defeating it with your normal skills, so always switch to your sword and board, just to make it a bit easier for your healers. For the next boss, you're gonna push on to this door behind the elevator that was closed before. Here you will see a small cutscene played, or you would have seen it if I was here the moment it triggered, but I wasn't. I was doing the other quest, so it is crucial for the cleric and the DPS to stay on the stairs here. If they don't, you're gonna wipe. Now what you wanna do is put these two skills on a new skill bar, on a brand new fresh skill bar, and then you are gonna stay here and just kite the boss from one side of the stairs to the other. You don't need to be a templar to do this. Every class can tank this boss. It's just a bit easier to do as a templar because you have a lot of HP obviously, and you also have some good physical defense. Uh, when the boss spawns adds with the skill Feathered Wine, you need to use the second skill on your skill bar to kill the ads, which will actually also restore your HP. That's the thing you want to do when the ads spawn. Now, besides that, one thing, the whole boss fight is simply just kiting it from one side to the other while your ranged DPS wreak havoc on it. Uh, Now shortly before it's dead, the boss is going to buff itself with a buff that can again be dispelled by a Spirit Master, and it will remove the skeletal form from you. So you must last the remaining time without the skeletal form actually being present. So there is a short time period, there is a short window that you need to last without the actual form. No, 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 I forgot to report the quest, which you should not do, but alas, I forgot about it. So make sure to report the quest before leaving. Now, here's the third part of the instance, the left side. Now, this side involves some heavy kiting, so here actually comes, I will explain in time, everything in time. For now, you just press on through this corridor and you kill the mobs that get in your way. Be careful not to aggro a lot of them at once, because then your group might have some slight problems. There are there are mobs that patrol around the room, so it's crucial that all of the group members know where to stand, as to not to pull the rest of the mobs. push on straight through this big corridor. Be careful not to aggro the worker souls around because they have a really nasty skill that can wipe your group in a matter of seconds. So just be careful not to aggro them. Now when you come here, defeat this mob, use the research center access controller by right clicking it, which will open the door straight ahead. Now the thing you need to do as a Templar is push ahead, aggro these mobs, and kite them around the elevator. While your group goes down to the elevator, you actually kite them around. That's what you do. Then you step on the elevator platform and push down. The cleric died on the elevator, but he had a self-rest, so it's okay. That's good. But we will need to wait for his soul sickness. So now you can go to the right room, to the room on the right here, and kill Professor Heba Heba, which you have already met in Dark Poeta, I presume. But yeah, as just as Enuhard, he's here and he's gonna enter your life again. He doesn't drop anything, he's just for a quest. But this is like his laboratory is like a little rest room that you can rest in before attempting the main train part. Now the training part is really just a matter of how well your group can follow, and of course you need to know the way. The point is to avoid killing all these strong mobs, you just train through to the next boss, and you do that by aggroing all the mobs, jumping over the fence that will come, and just trying to hold them at bay while your group runs to the next boss area, passes through the door, and then they can come back and res you after you die. Since I have a self-resurrection that it's not even gonna be needed, but your entire group should have greater running scrolls on them that increase movement speed. Pop your charge, pop your running skill, pop everything you have. You can pop your heal skills, shield, whatever you have. Jump over this fence here. Don't go around. Jump over it. That's the crucial part. Jump over the fence. Now, if anyone from the group gets lost along the way, it unfortunately won't be possible to rescue them. So I just make sure to give my group as much time as I can before I die, so that they can actually get through and uh, get to the safe spot. Now, after you die, you wait for these mobs to reset to their original positions. Then you either use a self-res. If your cleric used self-res on you, you can self-res. If they did not, you can wait for the resurrection from them and then just continue to the boss room itself. This boss fight is really simple. Now there is a little trick again involved that still works even after so many patches. You're gonna wanna stay at this point of the boss room, because if you stay here, there is no need to avoid the glowing floor. Now as you can see, there are three circular sections of the floor here, At times, either the outer and the inner ones or the middle one will start glowing, and you need to avoid that because if you don't, you will take some hefty damage. And as I said, you can avoid that by just staying at the door. So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna stay at the door right there. It does not matter if you fight this boss with soul sickness or without, because he's really easy to beat. So just whenever your group is ready, just pull it and stay at the door. That's all you have to do. The rest is again up to your DPS and up to your Spirit Master. Because again, dispelling from Spirit Master is crucial in this instance. So, but as long as you stay at the door, you are not going to have any problems regarding the floor. Besides that, the boss is just pure tank and spam. So just stay here, tank it, don't die, DPS it down until it's dead. And after you come down this elevator, you are at the final, well, for us, the final boss of the instance. If if you choose to go here first, of course, it's gonna be different. Now, our Spirit Master aggroed 4 of the mobs, so we have to clean them all, kill them, because our Spirit Master didn't pay attention to his pet. This happens. I was not quick enough at marking the mobs, so it doesn't matter. Just make sure to, when someone pulls something, make sure to get rid of it. Anyway it goes, it still goes. Before engaging the boss, grab the quest. Again, if it's your first time or you haven't done the quest yet. To advance to this quest, we will need to use the model parrot Gregin over there. Wait for the navigator to pass through, And when the Dredgian is out of his aggro range, go over there and use it. Be careful not to aggro the two mobs standing over there by the Circon activator. Hopefully the Spirit Master will not aggro the Navigator or any other mobs. Yeah, he's gonna do that because he doesn't know where to go, so he's gonna aggro that. Yeah, never mind, we're just gonna kill it again. It's no big deal. And now to the boss itself. Now, this boss, as uh, for fighting this boss, you're gonna want to stay out of the purple whirlwind that she's gonna create on the ground or he. Um, so after you see again Commander Strike, a conical AoE that you can avoid easily, gravity distortion, get out. Don't stand in there. If you stay in the whirlwind, it's gonna kill you like really 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 fast. After the boss starts using, uh, usually it comes after the second gravity field compression, that he's gonna start using a skill that will turn the whole room into a disco room. Now what you want to do is come to one of these spots and just step on it. Let go of all keys, all shortcuts, whatever, just step on it and keep your hands off the keyboard and the mouse. And it's gonna bounce you up and down, up and down, up and down. If you're gonna stay down there, you're gonna die. And besides these two things, again, it's tank and spank. And now you can return to the middle of the instance by using the portal and go into the garden by using this statue right here, the big Kahabata statue. You can pour into the garden of heroes. No, Noble's garden. You wait for everyone to go to get inside this garden. You need to wait for every group member, and now you can open the big chest. The big chest has a chance to sometimes drop a mount or a statue, but as basic loot it drops 2 platinum medals and a protectorate coin. Now after taking that, you change the loot distribution to normal and you grab one small box for yourself. Everyone gets one small box of AP relics. Only one per person. If there are 6 people in the instance, everyone gets one box. You can use those protectorate coins that you get to buy stuff from this merchant right here. You need to transform into a Drakan. Then you can go here and use those coins to buy weapon skins or a mount for 40 of those coins, which is I'm gonna have that soon. You can get a permanent bike mount and you don't need to rely on drops, or you can get Tiamat supply boxes that have a chance to sometimes contain armor from the instance itself. And that's it. You successfully finished. You've just successfully made it through the instance without much problems. So this is how you tank Tiamat Stronghold as a Templar, or lead the run as a leader. I'm sure there are a few things I didn't mention, but again, uh, you're gonna learn those in time, or they were not important enough, or I've just plainly forgotten about them because, well, I tend to forget about a lot of things. Anyway, I hope this guide helped you guys, and I'll see you next time while making some other guide for a different instance. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.